What's going on, everybody? Today we have Alex Schlinsky from Prospecting on Demand, all the way from Tampa, Florida. Alex, what is it that you actually do, and how do you generate revenue for Prospecting on Demand?
Absolutely. So yeah, we actually have two different companies, Prospecting on Demand. The real company is actually Sky Social Media LLC, which was originally my agency working with attorneys. Started that in 2010. Thankfully, I don't have to work with attorneys anymore, because anyone that works with attorneys out there knows they aren't the most nice people ever, but we do still have that agency working with about 15 attorneys across the United States. But Prospecting on Demand, what we really do is we help agency owners, coaches, and consultants scale their businesses from 6 to 7 figures, helping them remove themselves as freelancers and building a real business that's an asset, automated systems.
Which program, but which business between the two does more revenue, and that's like where your main...
Oh, definitely POD. POD is a 7-figure company, and then Sky Social Media is about $500,000, which I'm really proud of because I don't really do anything for Sky Social Media. Thanks in large part to our fulfillment partners and to DashClicks and to these types of companies. Makes a huge difference, as many of you are listening understand. White labeling is super important because I don't know jack shit about ads. So I get to do something good at, which is prospecting.
All right, good. So let's do this interview. We'll focus on Prospecting on Demand, just so people in the space can understand. I want to focus on one company so we don't mix metrics or anything like that. So if you can, in Prospecting on Demand, who is like your ideal perfect avatar? Is it just purely agencies? Is that who you're going after?
I would say the ideal avatar would be agency owner, just because we have so much experience with it. But I think we're probably expanding to the idea of working with entrepreneurs, mostly that are freelancers. So someone that had an idea, figured out how to be good at prospecting, generating opportunities, how to then convert them from a prospect to a client, and then how to retain them, but realize, holy crap, I can't do this with 10 or even 20 or 30 people because I'm by myself. How do I build a system around everything that I do really good myself? Those are the ideal people we work with. In agency terms, probably people that are like 3 to 7 clients, 3,500 to 5,500 recurring, and maybe have like a VA in the Philippines that helps them, but no.
So that would be your ideal client.
That would be the ideal client.
Okay,
Those people make these massive growths with helping them implement systems that change from this is all on me to now I have a process and a team to rely on, which is obviously incredibly valuable.
And what's the team size today? How many people do you have? And just give me a quick breakdown of what they do.
Wow, off the top of my head, I think we have 9 people. So I'll give a quick breakdown. So Brian Downard is our head coach and client success manager. Kemet Dominguez is another one of our head coaches. And systems operations manager. Shira, my wife and my business partner, is our back-end operations manager. She works on all the SOPs and systems and make sure payments are done and all that kind of stuff. Jennifer Wright, our executive assistant, she handles making sure that we're on track. She kind of holds us accountable. It's funny, we hold everyone else accountable and she holds us accountable, which is great. Karina Flores, she handles our group, our content, our emails. Thank God for her, because I would be dead if I didn't have her. Andres Velasquez does all of our images and copy. We've been doing a lot of silly images online. If you guys haven't seen it recently, they're kind of fun. And then we have John He, who's our tech expert. When someone asks me a tech question, like how this thing works with Zapier, I'm like, oh, I thought it was magic, but John He makes magic into reality with Zapier things that I don't understand. And then if I'm missing anyone, I don't want to look like a jerk, but I think that might be it. I think that is 7 people I noted.
And that's good enough. We get the breakdown. So you got customer service guys, essentially, if you just break it down. And then anybody on sales, or is it just purely...
Me and Kemet handle sales. I love doing sales. I think a lot of people ask me, like, why do you do sales if your company is doing so well? It's like, I enjoy it. So like ultimately what I want people to do in their business is do what they want to do. Like, does Chad have to do podcasts for DashClicks? No, he wants to do them. That's part of it. He has a bunch of people that can do it. The idea is doing what you want in your business, not just falling into a trap that's like, no, this is what a CEO is supposed to do. It. Who says that? This is my business. It's 2020. I decide what I want to do. I love
it, man. And how many active people are in POD? How many people are you servicing?
Right now, which is insane.
That's
the
awesome.
most amount of clients we've ever had. I said we would cap at 50. But I don't know if we can actually, because there's so many people that want to work with us. I think we just
don't need a cap, man. You just got to grow your team.
We got to hire another coach.
Grow the team. Yeah, you shouldn't put a cap on your business. Never do that.
Got to hire another coach.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. So let me ask you a question really quick. If you could take your entire audience, okay, and I'm talking about your email list, your Facebook followers, the people in your group, your many chat bought subscribers, whatever it is. Take all of that shit, put it into one bucket. If Alex tomorrow wakes up and wants to send a message, how many people do you think you can reach? What's your audience size?
Wow. So I have 15,000 active people on my email, and then like Active Campaign says there's like 6,000 inactive from the last 10 years. So those wouldn't count, but we have 15,000 active people there. I guess we can say 5,000 Facebook friends. Brian's email list is about 10,000 and Kevin's is about 5. So probably like 30 or 35,000, which is a lot of people.
So
yeah.
if you want to say something tomorrow, you're essentially talking to an arena full of people.
Yeah, a lot of people, but to be totally honest, I mean, Frank, how many of those people will open it? Like maybe like
15%, probably.
20%, maybe like 20 to 50%. So
which is normal. That's depending on the source, right? Email obviously is known to get like a 15% open rate.
Yeah, exactly.
Chatbots are obviously a lot higher than that. SMS is higher than that, but we get the gist. Okay, good. And what does your pricing model look like for POD? Let's say I come in right now, I'm interested. What's my fees to get in?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a couple of different products. Mostly though, we just focus on our main program, which is Prospecting on Demand Elite. It's a $9,000 program. Essentially in the 90 days, we're trying to add on at minimum $10,000 recurring revenue to you, freeing up your time pretty significantly, and then ensuring that you have the systems to scale to 7 figures. And then
so
we offer
9K for, is it a 3-month program? Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's 12 months, but we do a honeymoon phase for 3 months where it's like, let's see if we like working together. I want to work with people that I like working with. That's why I have the attorney business. So I don't have to worry about the cash side. I can just work with people that suck like attorneys and then work with entrepreneurs I enjoy working with. Because as you know, Chad, there's plenty of entrepreneurs and agency owners that are not people you want to work with.
That we know.
So yeah, that's what we do. We do.
So 9K, 12-month term, essentially 3-month honeymoon stage. That's good. And what's your value ladder look like? Do you have anything coming in on the front end or back end of that offer?
Yeah, so we have a downsell course for $1,000 that we sell really for anything from 500 to 1,000, depending on like the person and their situation. But I really try not to sell the course at all anymore because I do strongly believe that basically anyone that's been in the space for any amount of time has enough information. It's really about accountability, specific customized mentorship, support, and ensuring they move in the right direction, not just like more information. There's a lot of good stuff.
Taking a course is night and day between joining a high level elite coaching program.
I agree. I think the time has passed for most people that courses make sense. Like it really made a lot of sense in like 2015, 16, 17. I think the dilution of how many courses there are now and how much free information there is online, it's tough to make someone invest in a course unless they just like want to, get the information from one guy they really like, which that's fine. Yeah. But I think mentorship is the big key. That's my focus. The second thing that we do, we have the 12-month program thereafter, which is great. We love that. That's why we retain our clients, which is the most important metric to me, retention over sales. And then we also just built out a SaaS product called the Budget Proposal Tool, which we will be launching hopefully in the next month or so, maybe by the time this comes out and you guys hear it. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Congratulations on that. If you could take the one thing in your business, let's say you can think about anything that you've done in POD, what is that one needle mover for you? What was the one thing that you did that was like, holy moly, this is like the best thing since ice cream?
Super easy. No question. The biggest change for sure, my business life was everything before POD Live, our event, and everything after POD Live, our event. I found it pretty challenging before POD Live in the last 3-4 years to retain clients past 3 months because it's just something that I didn't do. It wasn't something that I had experience with. Specifically, we're talking coaching clients, not the agency. And then at POD Live, the ability to connect with someone in person, as you know, with Dash Days and stuff, it's just an entirely different experience. And then having someone commit on the dotted line for 12 months and then them backing that up financially and with their word as well has been just huge. I mean, it's been unbelievable for us this year. So I would say without a question, that's the biggest one.
Okay, good. And look, we're in 2020 now. What's the most successful automation that you've set up in your business that either saves you the most time or makes you the most money? What's that one thing that you have that's automated, that's no touch, that just saves you either a shit ton of time or makes you a lot of money? What would it be?
So I'll go both. So the one that saves us the most time is we use Slack to communicate with our clients. And Shira, my wife, used to send out messages every day for accountability. And like I said, we did some magic, also known as Zapier, that automates all of those messages, which is amazing. That
Yeah,
saves
that too.
so many hours of time, especially when you have 50 clients that you're trying to message every day. So that's pretty wild. And then the thing that's probably made us the most money, I don't know if this counts, but I'll go with it. Ads. I mean, like running ads instead of doing outbound prospecting has created, we're not even, to be frank, not even that good at it. Ads are pretty hard in this space because there's so many people running it. But even if you're booking one qualified conversation a day and 3 of those people of the 5 you speak to every week are like, I want to work with you, you end up the end of the week like $12,000 to $20,000 more in revenue. It's pretty fast.
What does your actual sale process look like? Can you break that down for me? Like, let's say I come in, I see one of your ads, I opt into a sales page or an application page, and I'm on the phone with you, or am I on a Zoom call with you? Like, what happens after the application?
That we do. Very specifically, the biggest and most important thing that we do that I think anyone that's watching this can take away from it and that we coach everyone is a demo video. So I joked with Chad before this where he's like, hey, this is going to be like a short like podcast, try to keep your answers short. And I was like, good thing you said that because I'm a person that doesn't know how to shut the fuck up. So with that being said, basically what I do is we have a 15-minute demo video that breaks down the program. And I kind of like in a joking manner, if I get on a call with someone and they haven't watched that video prior, like they didn't see the automations or whatever it is, I tell them in a joke, like, look, I could sit here with you for the next 40 minutes trying to explain this whole program, or I can know my weaknesses and say that I'm not going to be able to make this better than what the 15-minute video is. Why don't you watch the video and then we'll continue talking. So
you're basically, it's a pre-frame video in a nutshell. Is that what it is? Would you say? Okay, cool. Cause it's funny because that
pre-called demo makes a huge difference.
I had Rob Quinn on yesterday, and he does something very similar after the application page, and he has like a specific name for it. I forgot what he called it, but it was pretty cool.
We call it the pre-call demo video, and it works for coaching programs or agencies. So like if you have an agency and you're selling a product, just make a quick video on it. Don't include the price. Explain the ROI. Show them there's a no-brainer. Show them some social proof. Show them why it works. And then we'll get on the call, and then bang, they love it. Tell them the investment and go from there.
Let's go through some metrics really quick. 100 people fill out an application through your funnel. How many of those guys are booking a call? How many are showing up to the call? How many are closing?
Yeah, I have to look at the numbers, but I would go basically a 10% rate. I would expect about 10% rate, something like that, 10, 15%. So if you have 100 people that go through the application, I'd expect probably 10 to 15 people to fill it out. From those people, we end up probably getting on calls with about half of them. I wouldn't say no shows is really a problem. I would say we decline a lot of conversations because there's people that are very honest where they're like, I make $0 and I don't know where to start. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, here's a thing that will help you start. And we give them like a 25-page PDF instead of getting on a call because it's not really worth our time. No offense to that person. It's just like,
they're just not there yet for you.
Yeah, exactly. We have other things to do. So yeah, I would say that's the model. And then in sales, like, just frankly, like anyone that's qualified, they're going to join the program. We're really good at that. And we know who we can help. I think one thing that anyone can learn from if they're listening to this, tell someone to make the decision. People suck at making decisions. That's why we do this all the time. Like, hey babe, what do you want to do for dinner tonight? And you have no fucking idea. Instead of being like, I want sushi. Why do you always say, I don't know? It's because people suck at decision making, right? They're just terrible at decision making. Tell them to make the decision. People want confidence, but only do that if you really believe you can help them. And that's something that I feel very strongly about, that we can help people. And that's why I feel so confident. Be like, stop dilly-dallying about this. Make the damn decision. This is what you want to need. Don't be stupid. Do it. And they're like, okay.
In the last 12 months, how much revenue has POD generated?
Let's see here. I'm pretty sure it is 1.5. Let me just double check right now and try it. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it's 1.5. I'm pretty sure it might be a little bit more. This year has been crazy. I mean, we're having a better year than we did last year, which is wild. I mean, it's just crazy to say that. Yeah. So in the last year, exactly in the last 12 months, it has been $1.5 million. Pretty fucking
congratulations on all that success. That's amazing. And let's say you fast forward 12 months. Okay. What is Alex's goal to hit in 12 months?
I think things changed a lot in 2020, obviously, because of certain plans. You know, we had met up in early 2020 before the event, and that we were talking about your event and our event. And one of our big things this year we wanted to do, and now I'm hoping in 2021, is I want to do an event every other month with a small number of people, 20 or 30 people.
Like a smaller mastermind style.
Exactly. And then of those 30 people, like half of them would be current clients, half of them would be leads. half of those leads would probably sign up for the long-term program. And that would be the business model I'd like. Cause like, just being frank with you, we have a good friendship and relationship. It's so much more exciting to be with you than it is to be on Zoom, even though
100%. Yeah. That
and like
personal
Brian, who I work with every day, I love the guy to death. I mean, I consider him like a brother, right? I haven't seen him since the event. That was in March 1. That's a long time. Like, I work with this guy every single day and I haven't seen him since March 1. And we had a plan this year to do an event basically every other month. And well, that didn't happen. So hopefully next year, that's what we're looking at.
So in 12 months, do you see you guys doubling revenue? Do you see you going from $1.5 to $3 million? What do you think?
I don't know. So this is super common. So I'll touch on this really quickly. Brian and Kemet and Shira are more adamant than I am about revenue goals. I'm much more adamant instead of revenue goals to like the satisfaction of our clients. That's the most important metric to me. So I'm not really the best person to ask about it. I think there's this really bad problem in entrepreneurship that it's like nothing is ever good enough. Everyone's fighting against each other. It always has to be a competition. You always have to make more. And I get that like capitalist mindset, and I don't disagree with it necessarily, but for me, as someone that understands who I am as a person and what I want in my life, which, as I guess I'll say it on the podcast, but Shira's pregnant. I'm about to have our first kid. Like, I don't give a shit about money. We're good at money. Thank you. We're making good money. We're doing a lot of things for amazing people. Really, all I give a shit about in 12 months is that I'm healthy, my wife is healthy, my son is healthy, my clients are happy, and we're doing good in the world. That's really what matters.
I'll take that.
Let's make more money.
I'll take that. Hey, look, to wrap up here, if you could give one tip to a brand new person who's starting a business, going into the entrepreneur space, they're just literally getting their toes wet. What tip would you give them that would shave years off their business life?
Okay, I'll do two so that I can get away with the emotional side and the legitimate side. So let's start with the emotional side, because I think this is actually really important. Like, the mindset of being an entrepreneur is different than what you think it is, right? Like, when you have a normal job, you can clock out, like either metaphorically or literally, and then you go home and then the days are separate. When you own your own business, it's not like that. Like, your business is your own baby. It's like essentially a child that you are rearing and growing up with, and trying to build like a process around. And it's a big challenge. Like, there's ups and downs and massive roller coasters. It's never just a roller coaster that brings you up. You will have a drop, you will have an up. And I think, like we just said, like, feel comfortable with where you want to be, not where someone else tells you to be. Feel comfortable with what your race is. I'll give this quick metaphor. It's like understanding the difference between Usain Bolt, a short meter distance runner, and Mo Farah, a long meter distance runner. Who wins the race? You don't know unless how long the race is, right? If it's short meter, Usain wins. If it's a long meter, Mo wins. What's the race you're running? Not the race that Gary Vee tells you to run, or Tony Robbins, or Russell Brunson, or me, or anyone else. It's your race, and it's your race only, and that's all that matters, because no one else out there is going to give a shit about you, your nuclear family, and what you're trying to accomplish. I think that's huge. So, like, understanding the mental aspect of it is absolutely key, and something that I think a lot of people just don't understand at all. They think it's easy, and that's just not the reality. In terms of a legitimate, like, business recommendation, I would say the best thing to do is hire someone that has been there before you, right? Like, make an investment in yourself. Find someone that's willing to actually support you, that has proof they can help you, that actually gives a shit. There's a huge difference between someone that, well, I'll take your money and try to help you, versus like, I'll fight for you and I'll do what it takes to really get you where you need to go. That made a huge difference for me. All the investments I've made in mentorship over my 10 years of doing this has made a big difference. Not all of them have been huge wins, obviously, but a lot of them have really grown me up pretty significantly.
How much do you think you've spent on mentorships since? Because I'm very curious, because I know I've spent a lot too as well on even
one
stuff
program
like
alone. I won't drop names just because of, I think it's unfair.
Yeah, we don't need name drops. Just like curious.
But one person's program alone was $7,500 a month, and I did that for 4 months, which was insane. So that was pretty crazy. I did another program that was I probably spent. Man,
if you can round it off, you think it'd be about 100 between courses and coaches, 100K?
I would say 100 to 200. It's hard to say, like, because I dropped a lot of money on POD Live for like, not in a necessarily like program, but like coaching support on how to sell it really effectively from someone you know very well, who's awesome and really helped us a lot. Like, I dropped 40K on that, and it was 1,000% worth it. It was like not even a question. It was 100% worth it. So I'd probably say like 100 to 200,000 in the last 5 years, because the first 5 years I laughed when someone was like, "Oh, you want me to pay you 1,500? Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?" And now it's like, I was so stupid.
Yeah. It's understanding the value and the outcome of what you're investing in, right? At the end of the day, it's an investment, whether it's $1,000 or $50,000. If you're looking at it as purely as an investment, what you're going to gain out of it, the value, whether it's learning something new, whether it's a tangible item, whatever it is.
I also think the time is really important. Like the time investment makes a big difference. Like how much you're required to do and what you're going to get in terms of your time back. That's really valuable as well.
Love it. Hey, guys, you guys heard it first here. Alex Schlinsky from Prospecting on Demand, all the way from Tampa, Florida. Alex, thank you so much. We look forward to having you on future podcasts, brother. Have a good one.